Hello, I'm Chris. In a previous video, we had a look at part of the driving test which was following directions from a sat-nav. But 1 in 5 driving tests don't use a sat-nav at all. Instead, you'll need to follow traffic signs for around 20 minutes. In this video, we'll have a look at what it's like to follow traffic signs on the test and give you some tips along the way to help you become a safer driver, which will also help you pass your driving test. Make yourself comfortable and let's get started. The examiner has asked me to pull up on the left in a safe place. The instructions then given for the independent driving will be something like this. Shortly, I'd like you to drive for some distance independently. I'd like you to follow the traffic signs for Addington, please. Continue to follow the signs until I tell you otherwise. Drive on when you're ready. I need to follow the signs for Addington. On your test, it will be to somewhere that's local to your test centre. Following traffic signs may sound a little tricky, and that you'll need to know the local area like a taxi driver, but it's not the case. It's just a matter of looking out for signs. They should be easy to spot and read, but if the sign is covered by a tree or someone's pinched it, then the examiner will step in to help and direct you. This independent driving part of the test lasts about 20 minutes. I haven't seen any signs for Addington, so I'll just follow the road ahead. It's been red for a while and the other vehicles have stopped, so I'll prepare to go. The 2 lanes are going into one. Check my mirrors and a quick sideways glance for anyone overtaking at the last moment. Watching the bus in case it wants to move off. Also being careful of any pedestrians in front of it wanting to cross the road. Check the mirrors and move back to the left, but avoiding the cycle lane. Pedestrian crossing ahead. No one's pressed the button, so it should stay green. Keeping a safe distance from the vehicle in front is really important. If they were to slam on their brakes for whatever reason, then I've got plenty of time to react. There's no point getting close to them. Okay, the first sign. I'm following signs for Addington, so at the roundabout, I'm taking the first exit on the left. As well as a roundabout, I can also see a zebra crossing ahead. Check my mirrors, signal, no one at or on the crossing. Keeping left. The bus is coming off, safe to go. Another zebra crossing, no one there. Back there on approach to that roundabout, it would have been easy for me to concentrate only on the roundabout as it was big and scary looking, and I might have had a bad experience with roundabouts before. But then, I might have missed any pedestrians crossing or wanting to cross at both of those zebra crossings. It's also easy to focus on just when to move onto the roundabout and totally miss the lane on the left that I had to keep in. Try not to stare at just one thing when driving, or you'll miss something else. Well, let's get back to the route. Up ahead, I can see the flashing yellow beacons of another zebra crossing. Checking both sides, no one on it or wanting to cross. Parked vehicles ahead, there's no one coming. Check the mirrors, look safe, also being aware that someone might zoom out of this side road without looking. Check mirrors, move back to the left. Roadworks ahead, it looks tight, so I'll slow down to second gear before going through. As I'm driving uphill, I need to speed up and accelerate, build up momentum before changing up to third gear, or otherwise gravity will slow me down really quickly. That was quite a tight gap back there. Remember to slow down unless you're driving slow already before driving through tight gaps. It's easier to judge, and it makes it more comfortable for your passengers too. The solid white line in the centre of the road that's closer to me means that I can't cross or straddle it. They have the line here as it would be dangerous to overtake, but there are certain circumstances when you are allowed to cross it, as you can see on the screen. I've now got a broken line nearest to me, which means that I can overtake if it's safe, as long as I can complete the manoeuvre before reaching a solid white line. The white arrows on the road indicate that you need to get back onto your side of the road. A bend to the left coming up. I'm still following the signs for Addington, and it's another roundabout. I'm approaching from the bottom of this sign, and Addington is the first exit on the left. Observe early to the right so that you're ready to stop and ready to go. As I mentioned earlier, don't stare just to the right but also look ahead. Check mirrors, signal left. I've changed down to second as the roundabout is clear, and now I'm keeping to the left. This hill is steep. I'm staying in second gear as it helps me keep the car at a slower speed than third gear. This is known as engine braking, and is better for the brakes as I don't have to brake as much. I can change up to third now as it's not as steep. A dual carriageway ahead with a 40mph speed limit. Some new drivers see the 40mph speed limit sign and they start to accelerate towards it. But bear in mind, it's only a 40mph speed limit after the sign and not before. I'm keeping in the left-hand lane as I'm not overtaking or turning right. This allows drivers behind to overtake if they want to. I'm driving roughly at the speed limit in fourth gear as it's safe to do so. Sign warning me of a side road on the left. Traffic lights ahead. Check mirrors. Off the accelerator, anticipating the lights could change. Be ready for them to change, especially if you've seen that the traffic light has been green for a while. Another sign, but this one's obscured by the tree. Well, Addington isn't to the right, so I must need to turn left at the roundabout, first exit. But if this happens on your test, then the examiner will normally help and direct you. I'll need a left-hand lane for this. Pedestrian crossing, it's green, no one's pressed the button. I'm looking ahead at the car in front braking, but also checking the roundabout. It's quite busy. I will need first gear. Only move onto the roundabout when you can see it's safe. Don't go just because the driver next to you does. Check mirrors and cancel the signal in case they think I'm turning left. Green traffic light could change. The speed limit is still 40 miles per hour as I haven't seen any signs telling me any different, and it looks safe to drive at 40. There's a pedestrian at the crossing. Check mirrors, ease off gas in case the lights change, but there was no way I could have stopped for the amber traffic light. This next roundabout doesn't have a sign, so the examiner has helped me out and told me to follow the road ahead, second exit. It looks clear. Now it's important to keep left in the outside lane as I've got someone next to me who's turning right. Check my mirrors, signal left to exit. Don't forget that when you're driving faster, it will take you longer to stop. So make sure that you're planning ahead for what might or will happen next. During your driving test, the examiner will ask you to do one reversing manoeuvre, which will either be pulling up on the right hand side of the road and then reversing 2 car lengths, parallel parking, forward bay parking, or depending on the test centre you could be asked to reverse bay park. Along with one of those manoeuvres, you might also have to carry out an emergency stop. The speed limit is still 40 miles per hour, but let's say if I was driving at 30 miles per hour on this road, in these conditions when it's this clear, then I would definitely fail my test, as I might be holding up traffic behind, and they're more likely to overtake me when it isn't safe. Look out for these small repeater signs that remind you of the speed limit. The examiner has now asked me to follow signs for Bromley. At the roundabout, follow the road ahead, second exit. I can see a sign warning me of a roundabout and a speed limit of 30 miles per hour. I need to be doing 30 or below before the sign. A sign warning me of traffic lights The roundabout is clear, so I'm down to second, keeping in the left outside lane, check mirrors, signal left, and exit. Check my mirrors, pedestrian crossing is green, no one's pressed the button. Ready for oncoming vehicles going around this bus, maybe any pedestrians near the back of the bus crossing the road. The examiner has now asked me to follow signs for Croydon. The sign shows that Croydon is the first exit on the left. There's also a sign warning me of frail pedestrians likely to cross. Check mirrors, signal left, planning to stop, but looking to go. Select first gear. Good opportunity, accelerate, check mirrors, up to second. Cancel the signal if it hasn't already, and avoid the cycle lane. After you've been driving at a faster speed, 30 miles per hour might seem quite slow, especially if the road is wide and long like this one. It's very easy to drive over the speed limit, so be careful and just keep an eye on it. It's also easy to start speeding when you reach the top of the hill as the road flattens out and the car needs less power. This is a bay for parking on the left. You're allowed to park here at certain times and days. Look out for a sign if you do want to park, but no one's parked here, so I can drive through it. The examiner has now asked me to follow signs for Beckenham. Check mirrors. Signal right, braking gently for a nice smooth slow approach. I can see an emergency vehicle in my interior mirror going to overtake. And that's why, even if you have a green traffic light, it doesn't mean it's safe to go. But be aware of who's around you, because as you've seen, emergency vehicles can go through red traffic lights, and also bad illegal drivers do too. The markings, which are a little bit hard to see, show me that I have to go near side to near side at this crossroads. The green filter arrow gives me priority to turn, as the oncoming will now have a red light. Always remember when doing the independent driving part of the test, whether you're following signs or the sat-nav, that if you miss a road and you're driving safely and legally, then you won't fail your test or get any faults. The examiner will just direct you back en route, so try not to panic. Once the independent driving part of the test is finished, the examiner will tell you that they will direct you from here. And that leads us to the end of the video. Thanks a lot for watching, really hope you found it useful. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, as it helps us make more videos. If you've got your driving test coming up soon, then good luck, and let us know how you get on in the comments below. Really appreciate everyone that's bought us virtual coffees. Keep up the safe driving, and bye for now.